This is Fearless Heart.
I have my dear friend today, and I'm so excited, Gina Gardner. We're going to talk about leadership for life. She's going to tell us so much that's going to help all of us.
Are you suffering from a toxic relationship? Is the toxicity wearing you down and keeping you from going after your passion and purpose in life? Welcome to Fearless Heart. Get your power back. Learn to let go and let God. Thank you for joining Fearless Heart Podcast. And now, here's your host, actress, author, entrepreneur, Nadia Sahari.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. I'm always glad to have you. I'm here and Fearless Heart.
It's amazing. Thank you. I feel very honored to be here.
I'm honored. Well, let's talk about you. Leadership for life. What is that all about?
Leadership for life. If you consider that we are the common denominator, we take ourselves into every moment of every day. And so it makes sense for us to be the leaders of our own life. But what a lot of people do is they hand over their thinking, their emotions, their well-being to other people. You know, you'll have heard the phrase, he made me so unhappy, or she frustrates me, or I can't do anything because they won't approve. You're then handing over your leadership, your power to other people to decide what sort of life are you going to have? Whereas if you take radical responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, actions, and your language, then you have control over your life, not over other people, but over you. And you can decide how you feel, how you're going to be. And so for me, leadership for life doesn't matter whether you're talking about personal life, relationships, or your professional life. The place you start is with you.
Wow. I like that. It's true. It's so true. And really, that's all you can control is your own little circle, your own self.
That's
And
right.
you cannot control anyone else. And your feelings, your emotions, those need to be controlled because those are what get us into trouble. And I learned that the hard way. I just learned that as of about a year ago, maybe 8 months ago. I learned that emotions and feelings, if you don't control, they control you and you make mistakes.
I think, people talk about positive emotions and negative emotions. For me, emotions are the only positive or negative is the judgment that we put on them. For me, emotions are there to tell us something. And they either tell us that, yes, we're living in a situation where we're in line with our core values. When we're feeling happy and contented, we and the people around us are actually in tune with those values.
Yes.
But as soon as you're in a situation where you're out of tune with yourself and not being true to yourself, and a lot of people aren't true to themselves because they're trying to please other people, trying to get other people to like them. Or if you have other people who are around you who have very different values, whether that's your intimate relationship, your friends, family, or your business relationships, then you feel negative emotions, or what we call negative. But actually, it's saying to you, this isn't right. You need to do something. You need to do something differently. But what we often do is we ignore them, or we bury them, or we think, oh, it'll be okay. And we don't listen to the lesson that it offers. And that's when we get into trouble.
Yes. And, it's incredible that you're saying these things because I've been reading about different things about personalities and emotions and feelings. And I've been researching because of what happened in my life throughout the years. And I discovered that we have what they call emotional, or how should I say this? We have emotionally impulsive reactions, and we have emotionally repressive. Because one is impulsive, that's me. or used to be me, not anymore. I'm laughing. It's not funny when you're going through it.
No, it's not.
It's ridiculous when I think about it. And emotionally impulsive, where you go with your feelings and you let your feelings take the action because you're out of control. And
Do you know why that happens?
oh, well, yes, it happens from childhood. It happens to me.
That's the underpinning reason why you've been triggered by that situation.
Yes,
So,
I was triggered. Exactly. You're right.
however, when we are very reactive to things, it's because we are not thinking consciously.
Yes.
Our unconscious mind is triggered and reacts before our conscious mind has a chance to say, hold on a minute, actually, that's not the best reaction, or I'm reacting not to that situation, but it's triggering an old situation.
Yes.
I'm reacting disproportionately to this one.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. See, I'm still studying it. But
Well,
you're so right. But it is because it's a trigger. And if the other person triggers you, your brain says, uh-oh, this is what you went through. Your daddy is yelling at you. He's going to hurt you. He's going to beat you. And so you react to that impulsively, and your feelings take control, and you are out of control. And then there's the emotionally repressive person who is logical, and that's not good either, because he or she keep it inside, and they suppress it, and they don't talk about it, and they don't deal with it, and they're dealing with the same thing. It's something from their past, so they're dealing with the same repressiveness from their past, and their brain is saying, don't respond, don't do it, don't do it, you know, just keep silent, hold it back, and you hold it back, and it makes you sick.
And the interesting thing is that people can have both issues.
Yes.
And can flip from one to the other.
Yes, and they're both bad. It's
well,
let's
put it this way, they're not the best way of dealing with things because they create other problems. So if you bury your emotions, I liken it to a dragon in a box.
Yeah.
You know, you push your emotions down. I had to take my cat to the vet this week, and I put him in the cat box, and suddenly he becomes an octopus with 8 legs. And you're trying to get him in the box, and it's really, really difficult. And your emotions are a little like that, because if you buried them, they get more and more powerful. And then as soon as you open the box, so they pop out, and then it's very hard to get them back in.
Yes. And I think that I was very emotionally impulsive. I think I also became emotionally repressive because I didn't want to create any problems. So I kept everything inside. And then there came a point where the lid popped off and I blew up like a steamer.
And it's a really common pattern.
Yes.
And as I say, you can be both repressed and, hold things down, or be very reactive. When in reality, if you are able to sit with your emotions and ask yourself, what is it trying to tell me? What's this emotion about? Yeah. And deal with that in a way that's proactive and consciously thinking about it, then you're in the best possible place to deal with it. Because in reality, there is no bad emotion. It's what you do with your emotions that make it difficult or easy.
You're so good. You're so good. Well,
I've had quite a lot of practice. Remember, I've been in this game over 30 years, so I've worked with just a few people.
You're excellent. I love it. Well, I'm learning all this now, and I have been praying for the last 8 months. I have been studying, and I've been praying, and I've been asking God to take it away from me, to change me, to help me fix it. I've been reading articles. I've been watching YouTube. I listen to you, and I'm telling you, I'm a different person. I'm the same person in a lot of ways, but I'm a different person because now I don't jump and get impulsive.
So much more powerful when you do that, because the problem with being reactive is the chances are you're talking to somebody else who is also triggered.
Yeah.
So you're triggered, you go, ah. They're triggered, they go, ah. And before you know where you are, you're in each other's throats.
And yes, and you say things and you do things you really don't want to, and you don't mean it, and you don't realize it until weeks later.
One of the things that I'd like, perhaps your listeners would find this useful to think about, is that every word we speak, every action we take or not, how we do it, when we do it, leaves a living legacy.
Yes.
Because it impacts not only on you, but also on the people around you.
Yes.
And so when you're thinking about how am I going to react, think about the legacy that you want to leave, not just in that moment, but days, weeks, months from there.
Yes. And you can learn. You can go and ask for forgiveness.
Yes.
And you can let that person know that you didn't mean what you said. You can make that person understand where you were coming from and why you came to, and why you said what you said and did what you said, and ask forgiveness and let them know how much you've changed and what you've done to change yourself, to improve yourself, to change the behavior. It's not the individual's problem. It's not the individual that's bad. It's the behavior that's bad.
Absolutely. And what I would say to you, that's very true. And actually saying to somebody else that, I realize that now I've calmed down, that was not the best way to deal with the situation. Yeah. But there is a caveat. There is a however.
Check out the all-new Nadia Sahari Show. It's today's hottest new talk show and rated 5 stars on iTunes, featuring amazing guests and inspiring stories of today. All genres, all dreams, no limits. Visit thenadiasaharishow.com and get the app for Apple and Android. Easy streaming and listening. Have a business? Why not become a sponsor of the show and take your brand to the next level? Email us at info@thenadiasaharishow.com for our complete sponsor and advertising package deals. Let the show inspire you, motivate you, and educate you to your dream and to your success. The place where dreams really do come true.
And it's great to do what you suggest, and it really works.
Yeah.
But only if you learn the lesson, and the next time there's a problem, you don't go back to the old behaviors.
Exactly.
Because you can't keep being forgiven for the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. You have to truly, truly be changed. Truly change your behavior, so that if you do get triggered again, you handle it the new way. You don't go back to the old way, because then you have the same problems, the same responses, the same reactions, the same everything. So then you didn't get anywhere with life. And
there are people who will, I've worked with a number of people who've been abused, for example, and we've talked about this outside the show. And the abuser will come back and say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Yeah. And that's true until the next time. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Until the next time. And I think for the person on the receiving end, giving somebody a chance is great. But if they are making those same hurtful remarks, that same belittling, or it's physical, if you're consistently allowing that to continue, you have to ask yourself the question why.
And the same triggers. If they're using the same triggers, yes. And you've changed your behavior, but they haven't changed their behavior.
No. And then it's time to make a decision whether you're prepared to put up with it. And one of the problems is very often that we, in accepting poor behavior, it's almost that you've condoned it. So it's important that you confront the behavior, but that you're not aggressive or confrontational.
So let's say that I went to the person and I said, I want you to know this is what happened. This is why I did it. This is why I said it, blah, blah, blah. And when you triggered me, yada, 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 and this is the way I should have handled it. Now, if the other person takes responsibility for their part and talks about their behavior and the time that they were gone and how they feel, then you know that there's been a change of behavior there too. And that maybe the triggers are not going to be the same. Maybe there is hope for you as a couple to try again and do things differently. However, if that person doesn't say anything about themselves or ask you forgiveness or how they've changed their behavior, then you have to be careful, because that means they didn't change. They're still the same person. And they did not acknowledge their responsibility in the whole matter.
I've worked with a lot of couples in all sorts of different stages within their relationship. And what I've found is if both parties, if both people
Yes.
are prepared to give 100%, and it has to be 100%
Yes.
to the relationship and making it work, if they take radical responsibility for their own performance in this or contribution, and that they do the work on themselves, then that relationship can thrive and do incredibly well.
Yes. Yes.
However, if one person is ready to do the work and the other person isn't, it's going nowhere.
Nowhere.
It doesn't matter how much the first person wants it to happen. A relationship is a two-way process. And for me, it's about being interdependent.
Yes.
It's not about that person making you whole. It's not about that person's responsibility to make you happy. It's my responsibility to make me happy, and it's your responsibility to make you happy.
Yes.
But if you have a relationship where both of you encourage the other to be the best they can be, and it's truly interdependent, then real magic happens.
Absolutely. Well, so you are incredible. Let's tell the audience how they can connect with you, how they can reach out to you and get therapy or get leadership for life guidance, anything, because really you do a lot. Really, we need your advice. So let's do it.
I'm absolutely passionate about helping people to step into their power. And for me, genuine power means that it's not about having dominion. It's not about making somebody else less powerful. When you step into your power, you help people around you notice the potential, and you help them too. So my work is around helping people at a personal level in terms of developing confidence and the capacity to be the best they can be. But I also work in the business context in terms of profitable, enlightened leadership. So I have two websites, and between the two websites that you can see all that I do, there's genuinely-you, and you can see the word genuinely, a little dash, and then the word you.com, and there's everything on there. But if you're a business owner or you're in corporate world and you want to be a profitable, enlightened leader in this new era of consciousness, then go to enlightenedleadership.co. They can email me at gina@genuinely-you.com, and I'd love to hear from your viewers and know what they think, and they can ask me questions and find out more. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
And bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Fearless Heart with Nadia and her guests. Be sure to download the Nadia Sahari app at the App Store. For more info, episodes, and connections, be sure to visit our website, thenadiasaharishow.com. Share episodes with your family and friends. Follow the show on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Instagram. Are you ready to step out of the darkness and into the light? Are you ready to choose you? Be fearless. You have the power, the passion, and the purpose. Change your mind. Change your life. Fearless Heart. It's all about you. Relationship coach Gina Gardner is a best-selling author, motivational speaker, empowerment and relationship coach. If you are a businesswoman who's overwhelmed or suffering from imposter syndrome and tired of going through one disastrous relationship after another, it's time to take care of you. You can get the best out of your life. Email Gina Gardner now at gina@genuinely-u.com. Her website is www.genuinely-u.com. Mention Fearless Heart with Nadia Sahari, and the first 10 people to sign up will receive a 25% discount. Contact Gina Gardner now